r/AskReddit by Reddit and chill. Time just froze for the day. But you are able to live free in the frozen world. What do you do? Right there, here in as many places as possible, then watch as everyone freaks out after messages seemingly appear out of nowhere 24 hours later. Mayo, I like this. Swap people's clothes. But when they are close to each other so they can see someone else wearing their clothes. And them wearing someone else's clothes. This creatively amazing. Steal. It would just be a lot of stealing. It's basically like the game where you have 5 minutes and everything you can fit in a shopping cart you get to keep. Everyone saying anything other than this is lying or already wealthy. Supermarket sweep was fantastic. Some highly immoral stuff. Not tell the library you had your books an extra 24 hours. Eat so much candy and go around stealing $1.05 from a bunch of people. I don't want anyone to suffer because of my theft. But I also want money. I think it's a good compromise. Lol, clever. Draw mustache on everyone's face and write donghead on their forehead. What if someone already has a mustache? Move people I don't like slightly and as soon as time restarts, they burst into flames because of friction. Lol, Jesus. Run around naked. Someone had to say that. You're doing the Lord's work here. I'll go to the DMV and create a new identity. Then I'd go to the bank and give that identity a comfortable life. Should be easy with everyone already logged in and at their desk. Enough people leave their passwords lying around that I'm sure I'd find a way in time. Give the account a very large interest rate as well so you technically don't run out of money as long as you don't spend a majority of it at once. Bro. You made me realize I don't need anything. I just nap. Imagine that. 24 hours where you could sleep as much as you want. Uninterrupted. Pure bliss. Randomly go into houses and hide all their clothing in weird places. Steal money and objects. You know the usual. Eat their block of cheese. Go out and photograph the world. Make sure to get clocks in the photos. Then, somehow, arrange for a gallery showing. Title it The Lost Day. Oh yeah, you're going to photograph the world in a day? The day. As in just the daylight hours or for 24 consecutive hours? If just daylight hours, I would see if I could get my car to work and go into town. Steal petty bits of cash from here and there. Nothing large enough to be obvious immediately after time unfroze. I'd probably steal some things from the comic store I can't afford to buy. 2. I'm a person who would never ever steal under any normal circumstances. But this is the first thing I imagine myself doing in this particular scenario. Just being honest. I think a lot of people probably feel the same way, TBF. I wouldn't steal under normal circumstances. But I'd steal if time was frozen. I mean, not off of people I know or people who blatantly need it. Marizo, just a big company, yeah, no. Run to my local Tesco and take out a couple hundred from the till, lol. Go to the nearest internet cafe and play on an actually good computer and consoles for once in my life. How do I know it's frozen for a day? If my wife and kids were frozen in time, I'd freak out. I'd try to revive them. If that didn't work, I'd start look for a cause. The whole thing would be terrifying for me. Worse than them dying. BC, it would be so unnatural. Unexpected and inexplainable. I'd constantly be worried it would happen again. Plus, no one would believe me when they reanimated. Most sensible answer for the moment. Undress a lot of people who are outside walking on the street to see their embarrassed reactions when time starts moving again. Put everyone's clothes around one guy. Drop a road roller on a 17-year-old. r/expect a Jojo. If it was a little longer, I would go to Area 51, but I don't have the time for that, so I'll work on my homework. Oh shit. What if time is frozen because of Area 51 and you get there and find others who are unaffected? Rob 2 places: 1, my dealer's house, and 2, my work. Easier to rob your work rather than a bank where it will still take a lot of effort to break in even with 24 hours of frozen time, and even when time resumes your fingerprints will be there, whereas at work, it's not out of the ordinary that your prints would be there. Use gloves so there are no fingerprints. destroy the Joestar family? You were expecting a reasonable answer. But it was me. Dio. I'll be honest. I'm stealing things and doing pervy stuff. Hang out at home reading. Playing guitar. Painting. Safe in the knowledge that no one is going to interrupt me. Commit an absolute shitload of crime. Haha, yes, I'd steal so many Rugrats DVDs. Hide as many remotes as I can and then obviously pickpocket some people. Trade remotes for cash. Now your evening just opened up. Mostly go places and steal things. Sneak laxatives into as much food and drinks as possible. Throw all the TP into trees. Create the biggest public shitshow possible. So we don't have to hear about politics for a day. Probably get a little money here and there. Lol, this is a good one. I'd put a bunch of stuff so that when it unfreezes would be funny, like I'd get a frozen egg, crack it above someone I didn't like and put their t-shirt trousers the wrong way around, then sleep. Mayo, I like this idea. Yell. ZA Warudo and commit a lot of crimes. We all know that we would break some laws. Destroy our moral code. Secretly fulfill our desires. And then go home like nothing even happened. Get the jump on everyone and use the 24 hours to learn Python. Good news. This will actually be easier without time being frozen. So you can get started right now. Hold on. Time frozen for the day. And I suppose it will unfreeze when the day is over. But it would never unfreeze because the day will never end. Because the time is frozen. I think it's the 24 hours you would experience. Sigh. Unzips. I'd spend a good part of the day robbing banks until I have my nest egg. Make an elaborate display for my girlfriend with flowers and food that we like. Not sure about the rest of the time. Go to a movie theater and have a movie marathon of my favorite films on the big screen. It may sound pretty lame, but it's something I've always wanted to do. Plus the movie theater by me has a fully stocked bar. So I would do some day drinking while sitting back on their comfy reclining seats. Well, to be fair, you can rent out a theater. I'm not sure how much it costs, but most theaters let people rent out a theater for private viewings. Especially during the slower months when there's no big releases. I'm pretty sure this is the premise for a genre of Japanese porn. Things that are morally reprehensible, I'm sure. I'm gonna need some examples. Need to know if we have a similar line of thinking. Some perverted shit probably. Like, I don't know. Undress that hot neighbor and jerk off in front of them. Hypothetically. S. Erase everyone's student loan and mortgage payments. Sleep. Just cause time is frozen doesn't mean I can do much else. Internet won't work. Can't drive anywhere. I can't even take a duck-in shower or listen to music cause time's stopped. It would be an extremely boring 24 hours. Just steal money from some a-hole you know, then do those things after time has resumed. Steal those expensive computer towers. LED lights. Mouses. Keyboards. Headphones. Gaming equipment mostly. I think I would record my day on my phone. I would perform simple experiments. The rest of the day I would put sealed snack food, new socks and a note saying you are loved in Ziploc bags into homeless people's pockets. Catch up on homework, sleep and maybe pull some pranks. What pranks? Go around the neighborhood and move furniture a couple of centimeters to the left. Take a few dollars from people. Then sleep the rest of the time. Obviously go on a robbery spree. Breaking into banks. Going to the mall and taking what you want. Take down the Chinese and North Korean government. How? As fricked up as this sounds, I'd go to my crush's house and leave them a note at the door saying I'd like to talk to them sometime. I'm too scared to ask in person. I don't think you need time to freeze to give someone a note. You could just mail them a letter. Check out the White House secret places. Sleep. Ducking, like and subscribe.